Hey everyone! Welcome to my channel. My name is Lexi and today I'm going to be giving you all my thoughts and feelings on Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. This book came out in March and it got a lot of hype, a lot of press, and a lot of people loved it. I was really busy when it came out and I just hadn't really been in a place where I was ready to read a high fantasy story and really dive into it. And so now that I did finally get to it, I'm so happy that I did. Her writing style, character development, the magic system, everything about this book was just really fun, really fantastic, and I highly enjoyed it. This story follows our main character Zaylee as she tries to bring magic back to her people and overthrow the tyrant that is currently governing her country. He has erased all magic in the world and has killed her mother and all other people that practice magic. It's up to her to restore magic and bring peace back to her land. I know a lot of people said that this story reminded them a lot of Black Panther and Laini Taylor, and I definitely got both of those vibes from this book. As far as Black Panther, we get a lot of West African inspired heritage because that is actually what Tomi studied in college at Harvard. And we also get a really strong brother-sister relationship just like in Black Panther, which was really fun to read. As far as Laini Taylor, I definitely got Strange the Dreamer vibes. We see a city that their magic's been taken and we have to follow someone in their quest to get it back. There's also a couple other elements that reminded me of Strange the Dreamer, but they're a little bit spoilery, so I'm going to save that for my discussion talk. I've also heard that the movie rights have been bought for this book, I think by Fox, so there might be a movie coming out soon, which would be really fun, so I hope that they get the budget to really be able to do this story justice. In addition to being an amazing book, it also has an amazing cover design. Like, look at this. Only is the dust jacket absolutely amazing. The actual book itself is fantastic. I love the black on gold, the spine's amazing, and the best part, there's a map. As you can see, I really enjoyed it. I've like marked it up. I have the little book darts and I just like absolutely like every page was like going crazy. If like me you haven't gotten around to reading this book yet, and if you're looking for a really fun high fantasy really fast-paced novel, this is definitely a good summer read to pick up. I think that's gonna be it for my non-spoilery section, so if you haven't read the book, be sure to go check it out and then come back and join me so we can talk about all the things. We're now gonna be heading into spoilers, so if you haven't read this book, hit pause. I don't want to spoil you. Go read it and come back. Okay, hello spoilery people. So first I'm going to cover my overall thoughts and feelings for the book, and then I'll dive into more exact thoughts. So overall, like I said before, I highly enjoyed this book. This magic system I thought was really well thought out. I hadn't really read one this deep and intricate in a long time, so that was really fun. I thought the character growth and development throughout the novel was really good, and I also thought that she did a really nice job of tackling the villains in this story and really giving them good motivations. It really felt like you understood where they're coming from, and even though you didn't agree with them, you could see how much they believed in their cause and really felt that this was the right thing and the only thing to do for the country. The other thing about this novel was it was so fast-paced. Like, I really felt like there was not a lot of time to breathe for us or the characters. It was as soon as they'd want to take a break, something terrible would go wrong. Like, I don't know why they'd learn, oh, let's take a dip in this stream, or oh, let's have a festival. No. Why have you not learned? There's only 6 days. We cannot be just having fun. We need to stay focused. You could definitely tell when something was about to go wrong because as soon as we started having any form of fun or remote happiness, it was like this is about to all just go terrible downhill. So let's move into talking about the different relationships in this book. The first relationship I want to cover is Amari and Zaylee's relationship because it was such a fun female friendship. I felt that they really balanced each other well and brought out the best in each other throughout this novel. Amari is a little bit more patient and hesitant, so she's able to kind of rein in Zaylee's headstrong tendencies, but Zaylee's also more courageous, so she's able to push Amari. And ultimately, her friendship with Zaylee, I think, is what gives her that courage to take on her father. Amari is also really good at softening some of Zaylee's harder edges and getting her to open up and talk about her feelings, which was so nice to see. Overall, their friendship was just super cute, and I'm really happy with it. The brother-sister relationships in this book were very good but very frustrating. You can see how much they love each other and are protective of each other, but also how they're the ones that can cut each other the deepest. But they really do deeply care for each other, and that bond of sibling is just greater than whatever problems are being thrown their way. Okay, let's move into the romances in this book. So, Zaylee and Enon. When we first get that initial like weird connection thing that happens, I was like, oh boy, because I was definitely getting vibes of like The Strange the Dreamer, as I said before, when they get their dreamscape connection. Also in the Shadow and Bone trilogy by Leigh Bardugo, we get that same between the Darkling and Alina. And even in the Star Wars The Last Jedi, we get that same kind of a connection. I didn't love it as much in Strange the Dreamer, but this book, I thought it was done really well. So it may be a played out trope, but I am still always here for it. While reading this book, I wasn't sure if I wanted Zelie and Enid to get together, but as we got toward the end, I realized that that's not what I wanted at all, because Enid is so annoying. Reading this, I really enjoyed all their interactions and their teasing, taunting. That was always really fun. And so originally I was hoping that we could get Enid to come to our side and be able to fight with us, and that was what I was rooting for kind of through most of the novel. And then we do get him to our side and I was like, yes, let's do it. And then we kind of start to see what he's truly like and where his values really lie, and then we kind of see that character switch at the end and he betrays her, and I'm not on board anymore. Not on board. I think the moment that really switched my opinion of him is when he's trying to rescue her from the prison and she's bleeding after being tortured by his father. He's dragging her and pulling her and she's bleeding out in his arms, and this is what he says. The key to Orisha's future. Bleeding in my arms. He doesn't refer to her as Zelie, and he thinks of her as the key to Orisha's future, which I think really shows where his loyalties lie at this point. And it's duty to his country before duty to himself, and I just don't think that he can ever overcome that. It reminds me a lot of Cal and Mare from the Red Queen series, and how their duties to their own cause is so strong they really cannot ever be together because their values and goals just do not align, and there's just no chance of it working out. In addition to that, he pulled that stunt at the end with her father. He knows what that means to her to keep him alive, and the fact that he would bring her to threaten and use that to take the scroll just shows how little and how much regard he actually has for her. So let's talk about the ending and some of my thoughts and predictions for the next book. So the first thing is, I don't think that Enid's really dead. Now, I don't know, because obviously he got stabbed, so there's not a whole lot of hope. But I just really don't think, after everything that we built up to in this book, that he would stay dead, and the amount that we've gone to develop his relationship with Zelie, I just really don't think he is actually dead. And another reason for this is we get a couple instances of Amari referring to herself as the queen, or wanting to take that initiative to take the crown. And so I think in the next book that would be really interesting and be a really great storyline, to see Amari on the side of the Magi and trying to take the crown versus Enid, who is more of the birthright firstborn male. I feel like that could be really good. So that's one of my theories. Another thing that I theorized after reading the end of this book, and it's a little bit out there, so I definitely want to hear what you guys thought of the ending, is that everyone now has magic, so stay with me because I do have a little bit to back it up. At the end of the book, we get this line: "As it fades, I see the truth. In plain sight, yet hidden all along. We are all children of blood and bone, all instruments of vengeance and virtue." And at the end, we also find out that Amari has powers. And so this makes me think that everyone has now been granted, because she said that the truth has been hidden in plain sight, that we're all connected. So I'm thinking that all of the people now have access to this Magi power, because we know that Amari didn't have any power in her blood before. So my theory is that everyone now has magic, which is kind of out there, and I'm not really sure how that would all play out, but it definitely could be interesting. So that's what I'm putting my money on. The one thing that really broke my heart about this ending was when Zell was given the chance to save magic and everyone looks to her and she can't do anything because she's lost her magic. That just broke my heart. Throughout the whole book, we see everyone around her kind of telling her to be patient and not to jump into things and to just wait for it. And we finally get to a point where it's her time and people are looking at her to save it and she can't do anything. And that was just so heartbreaking, and I felt for her so much in that moment, because that's all she wants to do and she can't do anything. Amari also got a huge character growth at the moment, being able to conquer her father and really take charge in that moment and save everyone. That was so good for her, and I was so proud. You raised me to fight monsters. It took me far too long to understand that the real monster was you. Like, yes. Yes, yes, yes. I was rooting for her so hard in that moment. If Enid really did die, that's a really sad ending for him. Being his last act is being a disappointment to his father, which is just kind of telling of his relationship with his family, and so that was very heartbreaking as well. I'm still holding out hope he's not dead though. I definitely think that getting Amari on the throne could be a really good thing, and I'm hoping that that's what we're working toward in the next book. So overall, I'm really excited for the next book. I think that's all my thoughts, feelings, and discussion for Children of Blood and Bone. I'm really excited to find out what you guys have to say. Be sure to let me know down below in the comments all your thoughts and feelings that you had while reading this book, and what your reactions were to some of the stuff that I said during this video. Also, if you have any other book recommendations that are similar to this, be sure to let me know down below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!